Good morning, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to listen to our proposal. We are so excited to work with Qantas on this project, and we can't wait to get started. Before we move into our recommendation, I want to briefly anchor Qantas within its operating environment. Qantas is Australia's national carrier and an ASX-listed organization with the largest domestic network in the country. The dual brand model with Jetstar and Qantas allows the group to cover premium, budget, and regional markets effectively. Qantas also operates one of Australia's strongest loyalty ecosystems with around 15 million members, which provide us with a powerful data asset and highly engaged customer base. These underlying strengths form the foundation for the strategy that we will be recommending today. Starting off with our competitive landscape, we will jump right into a pestle analysis.
So then let's talk about the pestle analysis. This pestle analysis provides an overview of the most critical external trends currently shaping the aviation industry, with a focus on Qantas Airways. I will briefly cover one key trend for each of the six pestle factors, but the full pestle table is available in the appendix. Starting with the political factors, the weakening Australian dollar is a key opportunity. A weaker Australian dollar makes Australia cheaper for foreign visitors, directly boosting demand for Qantas international flights. On the economic side, we observe a decline in real disposable income in Australia. This is a serious threat as a high inflation weakens domestic travel demand. Our recommendation is that Qantas must leverage the weak Australian dollar to attract international passengers and offset this domestic downturn. Looking at social trends, we see that younger generations prefer international travel. This is a powerful opportunity. This shift towards global long haul routes is perfect for Qantas as the airline is uniquely positioned to cater to this demand. Regarding technological advances, the adoption of advanced air mobility is an opportunity, creating new ways for the industry to expand short hauls offerings. Our recommendation is that Qantas should monitor and invest in the advanced air mobility to maintain leadership in innovation. In contrast, the major environmental threat is the supply chain volatility of critical raw materials. This risk means price increases and material shortages are likely for aircraft components. Our recommendation is that Qantas must ensure long term agreements with manufacturers to reduce potential cost increases and delays in fleet renewal. Finally, the legal sector introduces the aviation white paper towards 2050. This is a significant threat as the new rules compel airlines to rapidly increase costly investments in sustainable solutions, raising overall operational costs. So, in summary, Qantas is navigating a complex environment where strong opportunities in social and political trends must be weighted against rising costs and supply chain risk. Success depends on strategic mitigation of these threats while capitalizing on the booming international travel demand.
Thank you, Joanne. Jumping into Porter's five forces, we have assessed Qantas's competitive environment. We see structural pressures that a subscription-based product actually can help address. So competitive rivalry is extremely high, with Qantas and Virgin representing almost the entire domestic market. This compresses pricing flexibility and also increases the need for revenue stability for the group. The threat of new entrants is low due to capital requirements, regulatory barriers, and also constrained airport slots. And when we look at supplier power, it remains high, particularly in fuel supply and airport infrastructure, as well as the actual aircrafts. Both of these expose Qantas to input cost volatility. Buyer power is also high, with customers able to switch airlines easily and increasingly expecting predictable subscription-style spending patterns. Substitutes remain limited on major trunk routes, but more relevant for regional travel. Overall, we see the industry dynamics highlight a clear need for that predictability, margin stable revenue mechanisms.
From the review analysis, we determined that some of Qantas' capabilities are still valuable, but they only provide a temporary competitive advantage rather than a sustained one. This is mainly because they're not rare and they can be imitated by other airlines. For example, digital tools, mobile apps, and loyalty programs do improve customer experience and retention, but most major airlines now offer very similar digital platforms and reward systems. So while they add value, they don't give Qantas a unique long-term edge. The same applies to workforce training and service culture. Qantas invests heavily in staff development and safety standards, which is important for operations, but strong training programs have become industry-wide, so competitors can match it. Moving on with the SWOT analysis, starting with the strengths, Qantas holds a dominant position in the Australian domestic market, thanks to its large network and long-standing landing rights, which make it hard for competitors to scale. It also has a strong safety record and engineering expertise, which builds trust and long term brand value. Commercially, the Qantas loyalty program drives recurring revenue and keeps customers engaged. However, there are also some weaknesses, such as the fact that Qantas faces high operational and labor costs, especially as a full service carrier. Its sustainability progress has been lower than some global competitors, and the brand is still recovering from post pandemic issues, such as cancellations and customer dissatisfaction. From an external perspective, Qantas has several opportunities. First, youth travel is increasing with demand for more social and experience based trips, which Qantas can target with tailored routes and new products. Second, technological advancements like automation and improved digital platforms can also boost efficiency and the customer experience. Lastly, new alliances and routes across the Asia Pacific can expand international reach and reduce the reliance on the domestic market. However, there are also some important threats to address, such as fuel price volatility that continues to raise cost uncertainty. Second, environmental and merger regulations that are becoming stricter, adding compliance pressure. And lastly, competition from low cost carriers such as Jetstar, Virgin, and AirAsia that challenges pricing power and market share, especially on the domestic and short haul routes.
So, in response to these challenges mentioned today, and opportunities for that matter, our team recommends AirPass Plus, a subscription based domestic travel product designed to deliver predictable revenue on flexible domestic flights. This will give you guys higher utilization and also stronger customer retention, which is one of our main challenges here. AirPass Plus aligns with current economic behaviors. Australians now hold an average of 3 to 4 subscriptions, and it meets growing demand for that budgeting certainty as real income declines. For Qantas, the strategic goal is to transition a portion of the travelers from one off transactions to that reoccurring engagement through the loyalty program. The structure is sorted out as a 3-tier subscription designed to match real travel behavior and also Qantas's network economics. Tier 1 includes 2 flights per month and is targeted at leisure travelers and Australians visiting friends and family. This segment tends to travel predictability, but is highly price sensitive, so a low commitment tier improves conversion and encourages that repeat travel. Tier 2 includes 4 flights per month and is built for business travelers and also regular commuters. Think long distance relationships, etc. This is a segment most likely to value flexibility, guaranteed seats, but also predictable monthly spending. Tier 3 offers unlimited regional travel and is aimed at FIFO workers and regional communities, where travel patterns are consistent, high frequency, and also essential rather than discretionary. This tier leverages Qantas' extensive regional network and fills seats that often operate with spare capacity. By aligning the tiers with real route density and the needs of distinct segments, AirPass Plus remains commercially viable, operationally efficient, and also highly attractable to multiple traveler groups. So, the $1 million question: why it works? AirPass works for 5 key reasons. First, it creates a predictable subscription based revenue stream, helping Qantas manage demand and also fuel price volatility. Second, it improves operational efficiency by filling off peak low yield seats at minimal marginal cost. Third, it strengthens customer stickiness through ongoing engagement with the Qantas loyalty ecosystem. Fourth, it responds directly to consumer trends favoring predictable, digital, and flexible solutions. And finally, it leverages Qantas's rare and immutable internal capabilities, particularly network scales, digital innovation, and loyalty data, which competitors cannot easily replicate. So, to justify all this, let's move into the data.
We started by collecting both external market data and analyzed our internal strategic analysis. Externally, we analyzed domestic route demand, subscription behaviors, insights on younger traveler expectations, data on load factors and fuel trends, and competitor sustainability. Internally, we analyzed the team's Burrow, SWOT, and PESTLE analysis, which highlighted Qantas' strong network, loyalty ecosystem, and key social and economic trends shaping demand. Data shows the Golden Triangle routes between Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are extremely high volume. About 60 million flew these routes alone in 2024. These routes are dominated by frequent travelers, which makes them the ideal foundation for a subscription model. Consumer data shows Australians now hold 3 to 4 subscriptions on average, mainly for price predictability, which aligns perfectly with a flight subscription. The data also shows younger travelers expect seamless digital experiences, a core strength for Qantas. And with disposable income falling, predictable monthly travel costs become even more attractive. Our internal Bureau and SWOT analysis showed that Qantas is uniquely positioned to deliver AirPass Plus. They have the largest domestic network, a highly advanced digital platform, and a loyalty ecosystem that generated $428 million in earnings before interest and tax last year. These capabilities are rare, difficult to copy, and tightly integrated, making AirPass Plus something competitors like Virgin cannot easily replicate. Looking forward, the competitive data reinforces this. Virgin has no subscription model and a weaker digital ecosystem. An example includes Bonza's
Qantas collapse, which shows how unstable low-frequency networks are and why only a high-frequency airline like Qantas can offer predictable monthly travel sustainably. In addition, peak flights often have unused seats, meaning a subscription helps fill them at almost no extra cost. Finally, the strategy fits clearly within the theory. Under Ansoff, this is product development. Under Porter's, it's differentiation based on convenience and value. And using RBV and Vero, AirPass Plus leverages Qantas's rare capabilities to build a sustainable competitive advantage. Overall, the data shows strong competitor demand, the network capability to support it, a clear competitive gap, and solid financial logic. It's strategically viable and achievable for Qantas.
All right, our analysis is clear. AirPass Plus is not just viable, it's strategically inevitable. The question now is timing, and Qantas is uniquely positioned to lead. Let's elevate your advantage and your customers to the top tier. Thank you. If there's any questions about referencing and where we've gotten the data, it'll be in the slides after.